The morning dawned like any other at Abusi Edumare campus. The skies clear and the sun gradually rising to spread its warmth. Students shuffled into the examination building, their faces marked with varying degrees of anxiety. Abimbola, Nkechi, and Sarah walked together toward the hall. They had to write this particular course exam at this campus on this fateful day that became a memorable one to them later on. The trio exchanged nervous laughter.
We can do this,
Abimbola said, her voice more for herself than the others. Nkechi adjusted her dress and rolled her eyes.
Easy for you to say. Some of us need divine intervention to pass.
As they entered the hall, the air grew tense. Students had already begun settling into their seats, pens poised, eyes darting around as invigilators walked up and down the aisles. The invigilators, with stern faces and piercing gazes, handed out question sheets and answer booklets. The head invigilator, a tall, intimidating woman known for her no-nonsense demeanor, clapped her hands once.
Settle down, everyone.
The scratch of pens against paper filled the room. Time seemed to slow as the students poured their thoughts onto the sheets, some furrowing their brows in concentration while others fidgeted nervously. The hall's door creaked open suddenly, shattering the quiet rhythm. Heads turned as a young woman entered. Her outfit, a vibrant red dress that clung to her figure, was as bold as her entrance. She carried herself with an air of confidence, her heels clicking against the tiled floor, each step echoing louder than the last. The invigilators stared, their expressions a mix of irritation and disbelief. The female invigilator approached her, lips pressed into a thin line.
Excuse me, young lady. What do you think you're doing late to the exam and dressed like that? This is Ogun State University, not a fashion parade.
The young woman didn't flinch. Her calm demeanor only fueled the invigilator's irritation.
I am here to see Mr. Shegun,
she replied, her voice soft but firm.
Oh, is that so?
The invigilator asked, her tone dripping with sarcasm. The woman pointed at a male lecturer that stood at the far end of the hall.
That's him over there.
The lecturer, Mr. Shegun, looked up startled. His brow furrowed as he tried to place the face. She didn't look familiar, yet there was something unsettling about her confidence. The invigilator coughed and gestured dismissively.
Well, there he is. Whatever you need to say, make it quick and leave. This is no place for distractions.
The young woman smiled sweetly and waved at Mr. Shegun, her red dress catching the light. Without another word, she turned and walked out of the hall. Moments later, the tranquility of the exam hall was shattered. Everything happened so fast. The door burst open and 5 armed men stormed in. Their leader, a burly man with a scar running down his cheek, raised his gun and fired a shot into the air. The students screamed and scattered, making a dash for the exit. Papers and chairs flew in every direction as pandemonium erupted. Everybody ran helter-skelter seeking safety while the armed men went after their targets. It turned out that the lady who had entered the hall earlier was sent as a spy to identify the male lecturer, as they were externals who had come for the operation. Mr. Shegun, pale and trembling, bolted from where he stood. His heart pounded as he pushed past students and sprinted toward the nearest exit. The armed men pursued him, their heavy boots thudding against the floor.
Don't let him get away.
The chase spilled out of the building and into the campus grounds. Students scattered like leaves in the wind, their screams echoing through the air.
Guys, he's heading towards the bush path.
One of the attackers yelled.
Perfect.
The leader sneered.
That's where we want him.
Some years ago, when Mr. Segun got a job as a lecturer at the Ogun State University, he was very excited and even his wife was happy for him. He was hardworking and diligent, but he was too strict as an invigilator. He also saw his position as a lecturer as an opportunity to womanize and go after the female students. He was a chronic womanizer as he had had his episodes with some of the female students and gotten away with it. All the students know him for his strict conduct during exams. However, there was this particular day that this strictness got his cup full.
Hey, you, get up. Yes, you. I said get up, my friend.
He barked at a student he had caught cheating. The student in question tried to deny the accusation, but Mr. Segun insisted.
In fact, I know you are not the only one. So you, and you, all 6 of you in that area. Oh yeah, stand up. Give me your scripts.
But sir, we are not part of this.
The other students protested, but he would have none of it. Mr. Segun saw to it that they got suspended. Unknown to Mr. Segun, some of these suspended students were cultists. Mr. Segun ran as fast as his legs could carry him, farther away from the commotion that had just happened at the exam hall. He glanced over his shoulder, his pursuers still hot on his heels. He headed for the bush path behind Abusi Edumari.
If I can just hide,
He thought desperately.
maybe they'll lose me.
But fate was not on his side. Still visibly shaking, he tripped over a root and fell hard, the air knocked from his lungs. Suddenly, he heard a laughter so evil.
Bullseye!
A voice drawled. Mr. Segun looked up to see the gang encircling him. Their leader stepped forward, the scar on his face twisting as he smirked.
Welcome to the lion's den.
He said, his voice dripping with malice.
Ajá tó bá dẹ̀ wọlé tẹkùn ńkọ́? Á fetch away.
The others chorused, their eyes glinting with dark intent.
Please don't kill me.
The leader leveled his gun at Mr. Segun.
Say your last prayers.
He hissed. The shot rang out, followed by a blood-curdling scream that echoed through the forest. News of the attack at Abusi and the death of Mr. Segun spread like wildfire across campus. Alex thought hard and long about the entire incident. He was somewhat thankful that none of the members of the Black Belt were a part of what went down. Moreover, most confraternities on campus didn't know the cult group that carried out the operation. In the early 2000s, it was one day, one trouble in the Ogun State University, popularly known as OSU. Jibo burst into the room, interrupting Alex's thoughts.
Alex, Tuyo is dead.
What?
Alex exclaimed in surprise. Who is Tuyo? And what was his story before his death? Let's find out in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.